Hello and welcome to Selah, Time to Pause. So what episode? Last week of the month, this time, going out on a Monday. Hello, Gracie. How are you?
I'm good. It can't still be January, though.
It is. I feel like it's been February for a while, but...
Oh, if I was a dog in dog years, I'd be dead. Anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So it is still New Year-ish. We can still legally say Happy New Year, can't we? So
it is still January, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
So Happy New 24. Started all right, has it, for you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Nothing much to write home about. I've got new glasses. I like my glasses.
They're very cool.
Which, all being well, if you want to see my glasses, you can check out the YouTube channel, Selah, Time to Pause, and see our beautiful faces.
Looks like we're sponsored by Specsavers, you and I.
Oh, I hope so.
I see, Sam, I forgot that you were going to maybe potentially film this. That's the reason I haven't got a comedy wig on, it's just me.
Where are you, Comedy Wigs?
Comedy wigs next time, I promise.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
I've got to go for a run. Oh, maybe I'll run in a comedy wig.
I will be disappointed if you don't.
Okay, that's my challenge.
I have been for one run this year so far.
Well done. And how did it go? Did you enjoy
It
it?
was cold. I realised I'm not as fit as I used to be because I've not run for a long time. And I said I'm going to get out more this year. Get out more and run.
So you've made a start.
Yeah, get there.
Yeah. Something to build on.
Yeah. February will bring more runs, hopefully, if it's a bit warmer.
And it is a leap year, so there's a physical side to February, isn't there, that encourages us to be a bit more fit. Leaping.
I was going to say that, yeah. Great minds.
Wouldn't it be great if you said, oh, I'm going out for a leap?
A nice leap.
Imagine that.
Does that burn more calories as well?
I don't know, but it'd look great, wouldn't it? You're just
would.
leaping.
And prancing.
A 5k leap. My hips wouldn't let me do that. But a leap for me is like, I don't know, maybe a tiny, tiny step for you, but with my little legs. What's that saying? One giant leap.
One giant leap.
Sam Ellison.
Is a small leap for 7 foot tall Gracie.
7 foot tall?
Yep.
You know, 7 foot's quite tall.
I know, but on the podcast, people can't see how tall you are, so let's say you're 7 foot.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've got very long legs under this table.
Have you got a joke for us, Gracie?
Oh, Sam, I am so excited because I went in search. I thought I'll think about the themes of what we're, potentially talking about, and I think across each episode, I thought the theme mountains. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Lots of mountains.
With very low expectations, I Googled jokes about mountains. I should not have gone in with such low expectations.
All right. Okay.
Because I stumbled across 40 mountain jokes.
40 decent mountain jokes?
Well, some of them aren't repeatable because it's before the watershed, but there are some decent ones amongst them, which I can share with you.
All right.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Right, gird your loins. I'll save my favourite one till last.
Okay.
Can I just say, if you'd Googled jokes about mountains, what would your expectations be?
Hi.
See what you did there?
Oh, yeah, see what I did there?
Yeah. You may have peaked with your humour there. Right, ready? Never forget how beautiful the mountains are. You don't want to take them for granted.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Do they get better?
They get better, yes.
You started low, right? Okay.
Yeah, I've started in the valley. I'm climbing up. Ready?
Right, nice. You get to the highlands.
Why are mountains always sleepy?
I don't know.
Because they never rest.
Right.
Get it? Right.
I get it. I think I get it.
How do mountaineers hear?
With their ears.
It's thanks to mountaineers.
Oh, nice.
You like that one? Here we go. A desperate young mountain looks to a selfish older mountain for help. It shouldn't get its slopes up. You should dress up warm in the Andes. That place is chilly.
I like that one.
The ancient god of thunder rode up a mountain on his horse. I'm Thor, he cried, to which the horse replied, because you forgot your saddle, silly. Oh, dear.
I like it.
Sorry to Jonathan Ross. Okay, this is the final one. This is the one I find the funniest. What's funnier, mountain ranges or forests?
Forests.
Mountains, of course. They're hill areas.
Is that your favourite one?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I will stop and breathe in your presence. Just breathe. Just breathe.
So this month of the podcast, we didn't have an A episode through because it was New Year's Day.
New year, new me and all that business.
New Year, new me. I'm going to start running, but I'll do it once and forget. So we had musical musings, which are now being taken over / changed into. I'm going to interview somebody from Abide Worship, which is over on our main YouTube channel, Plexus, Salvation Army Plexus. Little acoustic worship sessions, simply coming before God in praise and worship, and talking to one of the, I'll call them worship leaders or worshippers from Abide Worship every month on the B episodes of Musical Musings. So check those out. This month we had Cal and me talking about the song Highlands.
Well, firstly, I think Cal really needs to be doing more voiceover work.
He's got a great voice, hasn't he?
Voice. It's like chocolate.
Oh, right. Okay. Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Now, if you had him reading the scripture, I'd listen a lot more.
Oh, right. Okay. I also feel the same about Felix's voice. It's got very deep tones, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't got deep tones. I've got a voice that cuts cheese. Highlands.
Highlands, yes.
I know it's not probably it's not the main point of the song, but do you feel like as Christians we spend a lot of time like going for mountaintop experiences? That's what we seek and strive towards.
I think it's often a common theme, isn't it?
Mm.
Mountains and being in a valley when it's bad. And
I just sometimes, for me personally, I shouldn't assume everyone else thinks this. I'm often, that's what my focus is on. And then
reaching the top of the mountain, do you mean?
Yeah, and okay. I forget then that like God is in the valley with me, and if God is with me in everything, as in all situations, I don't always recognise that, and I see the valley as a kind of like a negative, difficult, painful place, which it can be, but you know, maybe I need to grasp hold of God a bit more in the valley. I don't know if I'm making much sense, but
yeah,
it's just recognising God now and what He's in now, rather than, you know, once I get to the mountaintop, that's what I'm aiming for. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I was speaking to someone earlier about like when you become a Christian, you think the end goal is having peace in heaven. It's like that's what we want to strive for, to get to heaven. But and we have to wait until we get to heaven to have all those good things. But what about the bit when we're on earth? Like, it's not just having the good things at the end, it's having the good things and being with God whilst we're on earth that is exciting thing about following Jesus is that he's with you no matter what.
Mm.
And I think when you were speaking then about God being with you in the valley, that image of the stream that I talked about in this episode, not the stream in the river, at the top of the mountain, the stream's almost, it's fresh, it's new, it's just starting out, and it's not yet made it to that river. But when you're in the valleys, the river's off. When the river's made it all the way down, it's often gained speed, and it is so much more powerful and able to overwhelm.
Yeah, okay.
You just got to jump in, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is easy to say. It's easy to say in that imagery, you just got to jump in, but it's often not easy to jump in, is it?
No, especially when there's a force behind it.
Yeah.
Which there would be.
A cleansing force.
Yeah, I always think of cleansing as being a bit like being in a spa, but actually, and being a relaxing, cleansing, moment. But probably the reality isn't that, because to be properly cleansed, it's got it not forceful, but it's got to be quite.
A bit like a jet washer.
Yeah. What are those called? Karcher.
A what?
A Karcher. You don't know what a Karcher is?
A Karcher? I've never heard that before.
Yes, you have.
Like as in a car, C-A-R.
No, it's spelled with a K. I'm going to get a picture on here, and you'll know it.
I'm going to Google it. Karcher.
It's not spelled because it's not a British.
Oh right, okay. Is it the make of a jet washer?
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, look, one of these.
A yellow one.
Yeah, got it.
Right. Yeah, I've got it. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, there you go. Take a look at what you could have won. Only relates to anybody over 40. What were you saying? About the mountains. Oh yeah.
About the jet washer cleansing you.
Yeah, about cleansing being like, I presume it's like dolphin music on. Dolphin? Whale music. Dolphin would be just clicking. Some whale music on, some oils, bit of a massage, cleanse it all out, all gentle, come out all. But actually, cleansing probably is a bit more forceful than that. A bit more power behind it. But, yeah.
Yeah.
What, I don't know if it's taking the mounting analogy too far.
I think sometimes there is risk of that.
There is, yeah.
I don't know if we've reached it. We might have reached it. If you think we
might
reached it, let us know.
Reached the peak. I think it's but I think you can focus too much on that and the actual. For me, because I listened to the song before I listened to your episode, because I thought I'm just going to hear it for myself and with like fresh mountain ears, so I listen, and so in the biggest powerful message for me from it was that, and it's probably such an obvious point, that God is in everything. He's there. He's not gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's recognizing that. If I can recognize that, then I can get through anything. And
yeah, he what was it Cal said? God is always the same, no matter how you feel, no matter where you are. He's still the same God. He's still God, and he still deserves the praise. I think that's what Cal was talking about. And he's still able to work and help, like Job in his wisdom. Well, not his wisdom, God's wisdom. He's kind of getting to the point, Job, where Job's struggling with his suffering, isn't he? And he's asking God these questions. He's like, why is this happening to me? And he's kind of angry and fighting God and expressing his feelings, which I think God loves that he's doing that, first of all. But God explains to him, have you seen the world? Is this episode? If it's not, I apologize. Do you know how everything in this world works? And Job's like, well, no. And wisdom kind of comes from a point of view. So Job never learns why he suffered, but he just trusts in God's wisdom, and he trusts that God was working through the suffering. And I think that's my point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and yes, it does make sense. It does make sense. It's just Job has knowledge because he's got experience of suffering, and because I looked up the difference between the knowledge and wisdom, and when it talked about wisdom, it says wisdom is the application of knowledge and the discernment that comes from perspective. And it said this saying, knowledge is knowing what to say, wisdom is knowing when to say it. And knowledge is required for wisdom, but it's all very well knowing things, but if you don't have that wisdom, you can't go on to the next step. There's no depth to it. There's no kind of movement away from just having facts. And so for Job, the facts were he was really suffering and he was in a lot of pain and, questioning what was going to happen. And what God did in providing that wisdom, it helped him to trust and have faith and kind of be reassured that, God is wisdom. He knows everything will work out. That makes sense?
Yeah. And because Ian was going on about how the human race have managed all these great feats of massive skyscrapers, going to the moon. What else did he say? Built all these wonderful things, able to discovered all how these things work. I'm obviously generalizing. And transported all these worldly goods to our kitchen table. We've got oranges from wherever they're from and tomatoes from Italy, and that's our knowledge. But in our great wisdom, there's still people around the world that are starving, and there's still poverty, and there's still wars. So we may have lots of knowledge, but has our wisdom come in the same leaps and bounds? I don't know.
It's like we've made it all very human and we've missed out God. And so he's the wisdom. And do you have people that you go to? Is there people that come to mind when you think, oh, I need a bit of wisdom?
I think too often I look to myself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm full of wisdom. I'm saying I might think I am, but in fact I'm not. I think I know people that I probably have more wisdom than me that I don't turn to, which maybe I would want to turn to more. I don't know if that's through my own insecurities, but...
So when you think of those people, what makes you think that they're wise rather than just, they've got the answers? What makes them impart wisdom?
Probably their experience in certain things. Like if I want some wisdom about cricket, for example, I'd go to someone who I know knows a lot about cricket. Or
chat to me, I know about cricket.
Oh, okay. Test series on at the moment, isn't there? But anyway, if I want to know about, if I've got a question about the Bible or a question about God, then I'd probably go to Major Don. Don't know why, I just enjoy chatting to him. But shout out, Don. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, spiritually, the people I go for wisdom, like you said, maybe from experience. So I know people that could get up and give a sermon, all very factual and theological. It's great, but I don't kind of have that relationship or trust with them to be able to go and ask for advice on the spiritual matter. But those who I do seek kind of advice from, it's that it's through experience and through knowing what their relationship is like with God, and it's the way they live their life and the way they, to me, demonstrate a relationship with God in the day-to-day. And I go for them for wisdom.
Yeah, and I think I also push towards people who necessarily or not necessarily say that they've got the answers. People who honestly say their opinion but will admit that they don't fully know, and that, I guess, like the end of Job, trusting God and are striving for those answers but admit that they don't have the same wisdom. Probably I feel like I'd trust them more.
Yeah. I had a situation this week, nearly a week ago, where quite a big thing happened where it kind of threw me off guard, and I really, really panicked. It's to do with where I live, and I got some bad news about where I live, and I instantly went into panic mode. Thought of all the worst case scenarios, and kind of went down that route for a number of hours, I would say. And it wasn't till after I'd listened back over the wisdom episode and that I realised that so after the panic had settled down, I deliberately went and spent time and talked to people who I knew would speak with great wisdom. And I think my panic limited my view of it. It made everything a lot closer and smaller and intense and scary. Whereas as soon as I sought out people who were wise, what they were able to do is think of the whole picture and help me to think of the bigger picture. And as soon as I was able to do that, almost like step back, I felt in myself calm down a lot more. And that does happen, even like if I spend time with God when I'm in those moments, because he knows the bigger picture. He knows we only see what's right in front of us. But if we can trust in him and recognize that he knows it all, there's that sense of it, that saying all will be well. You just know it will be okay. And I think that's what wisdom does as well. It doesn't just see your situation, it sees the bigger picture. Yeah.
It's challenging your perspective on something is probably helpful. Like challenging yourself to look at it from another perspective. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It's not always an easy conversation to have when you go to seek wisdom. Not always comfortable. I think we've talked about it before, where we've talked about the fact that sometimes, do we talk with people that we deliberately talk to people where you're going to get the answer that you want? But in like these very kind of challenging situations, that's not helpful. You need somebody who's discerning and wise, but also not scared to be honest and say the truth and what might happen and stuff like that. Mate, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder for Job, whether when he was asking all those questions to God about, what's going to happen and why me and all that, I just wonder whether he got the answer that he wanted or whether it was the answer he needed, because there is a difference, isn't there?
Yeah. I would assume it wasn't what he wanted. Because I think when you come to something with that much frustration that he must have felt, you want black and white. Why? But God didn't give him that, did he?
No. Why do you think he didn't give him that?
Good question. I think there might be I don't know if this is, I don't know. There's that whole thing about if you have the ultimate answer of why that happened, you kind of then don't have the ability to trust, like you said earlier. If you had the specific answers to why that happened, you would then still struggle with what did I do to make that happen, or how can I stop that happening in the future? Whereas Job kind of had the opportunity to just trust God and allow God to fill him with that peace of all will be well.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right, because then he still has to trust, and I think it makes, if we know the answer, it almost, for me, would make God too small. And I wouldn't have to have faith.
Yeah.
I've got the answer.
Yeah, and you kind of got that whole thing of, at the start of Job, the devil kind of put that question in. Job trusts God and worships God and is so good because he gets rewarded for it. And I think if Job came away with all the answers, it would kind of, God obviously when he allowed that to happen had an end game, or he knew the outcome And if you told Job and then knew all the answers because of that, then the outcome would have been different, and kind of everything that Job went through would have been for nothing. That was just my mind processing it at the time.
No, I think do you reckon that if we knew all the answers, I reckon if I knew some of the answers to some of the questions I have about quite, horrible, painful stuff, if I had all the answers to that, I would probably try then to manipulate my life or make certain choices, thinking, oh, if I do that, because I know that's why that happened, it will protect me from that happening in the future.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a lot more about me and less about me seeking God and his. Yeah,
it'd become almost a selfish act rather than trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, gosh.
We've gone deep.
We have gone deep.
Yeah, goodness me. Last week, at the time of recording this, not at the time that this goes out, I recorded an Abide worship session with a guy called Dan. Great guy. Great musician. And at the end of his set, he had a song that I think he said was from the Salvation Army songbook. Quite an old song that he'd kind of rejigged, reimagined,
reconfigured.
And I remember sitting there, I'd just pressed record and was just watching him, and it kind of repeats the line, I know I love you, all will be well.
Yeah.
And as you said that before, and it was just repeating in my head, and again I was trying to think, where did I hear that? But if you get a chance, it's a beautiful little song right at the end of his set, so you have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it might be out at the start of February, around then. Yeah, check out the page, we'll post it at some point.
I'm going to listen to it.
Do you have some music that you picked for us to listen to today, Gracie? I believe you had two. What were those two? And
yeah, I did have two. The first one's called Grace Wins, and the clue is in the title, really, that in everything, doesn't matter what we do, we can't earn, God's power or, God's strength or love or forgiveness. That grace.
Grace wins every time. That's the one, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
And the second one, it's got a bit of a left field of a title. It's called Brother Moon by. How would you pronounce their name, Sam?
I'd say Gunga.
Gunga. Okay.
I don't know if I'm correct.
Let's go with that, because from where I'm from, like originally, it'd be Gungor.
Gungor.
We'll go with Gunga.
Okay.
So it's called Brother Moon, and it's a beautiful song. Bit of a strange bit at the beginning, but if you can override that would be great. And it's just a song that captures just, ultimately God is it. He's our strength. He holds us together. He's all powerful. He's a provider. Doesn't matter where we're at or what's going on. God is still God, and this song just lifts him up for who he is.
Yeah, it repeats, you are everything, you are everything. And I guess it's kind of going along with that notion of you're everything, we trust you through that.
Yeah.
Great song choice. Thank you.
Brother Moon, shine down your light on us tonight. Show us the love of God. Sister sun, you bring out the day. You're shining the light of God on your face today. Maker of it all, you provide it all. In you we live, in you we move, in you we have our being. You're glorious, you're holding us together, all together. Brother wind, your clouds and your storms, you breathe in the breath of God in your lungs for us. arms open hand, you always provide for us. Maker of it all, provide it all. In you we live, in you we move, in you we have our being. You're glorious, you're holding us together, all
You are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are
everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything, you are everything good, you are everything beautiful, you are everything, you're everything,
Hello, this has been Selah Time to Pause, a podcast from Plexus Salvation Army, an online church in the UK.
I'm Ian.
I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Sam.
If you've enjoyed journeying with us over these last few weeks, join us every Monday
Or any day that works for you.
to spend time together, taking time out to pause, catch our breath, draw near to God, and refresh our spirits.
We share Bible teachings,
Reflections on songs we're listening to,
And on what's going on in the world around us.
as well as this. On the last day of the month, we look back and reflect, share any thoughts from our listener community, and ask what we can take from it into our daily living.
what we call our personal So What's for the month.
Join us, making us part of your regular routine, spending a few minutes to listen to what God might be saying to you.
Find us on your favourite podcast streaming service
On Facebook,
Or YouTube.
by searching for Selah.
that's SELAH.
Time to pause.